It's Wednesday, and that means our plants and gardens expert, Craig Hignight, is joining us live to answer all of your burning questions. Good morning, Craig. Thanks for being with us.
Glad to be here.
Good to be back with you again. We're taking your plant and gardens questions through our live stream on the WQ80 Facebook page right now, so head on over there, and we'll get your questions answered. So we want to start. Pat writes in and says that they have a conifer tree that the single branch coming out of the top is broken off. What do they need to do? Do they need to cut that all the way back? Will that grow back? Talk about that if you can.
Quite often these trees will go ahead and try and reestablish their central leader. If the tree is short enough, you might go ahead and take a branch as close to the top as possible and try and bend it up very gently. You don't want to break it, to get it as vertical as possible. There's always going to be a crook in the stem there, but after about 3 to 5 years, looking from the outside, you're not even going to see it.
Nice. Ron is asking, is it too late for some weed be gone?
Actually, it's a little early right now. We do not want to be using that type of herbicide until the until the daytime temperatures drop consistently below 70 degrees. And I was looking at the forecast there. We've only got 3 days in the 70s coming up, according to Andrew here. So it's usually about Labor Day. Temperature drops, you can get back out there with your broadleaf herbicides at that point.
All right. Michelle is asking, is it too late to cut back overgrown lilac bushes and move mums?
You can move mums now. I would go ahead and get them out of the ground, back in the ground, keep them watered, use their root stimulator, and fertilize them regularly until you see the first little bit of color coming out on the flowers. As far as lilacs, don't touch them right now. You want to wait and do that in the spring.
This one is from Kathy. What causes my tomatoes to split like they're trying to grow out of their skin?
Well, actually, it's inconsistent watering. As the tomato gets toward maturity, if we go through a dry spell, the fruit stops expanding and the skin kind of toughens up. We get a really good drencher like we had a few days ago, the fruit starts to grow again and it explodes, just like a balloon.
Oof. Fascinating.
Boom.
Lisa writes in, how do I get rid of bittersweet nightshade?
I would be using a brush and stump killer on that. What you want to do is find where that plant is coming out of the ground. Go ahead and put on your gloves, long sleeves and all that. Cut it off as close to the ground as possible, or it doesn't have to be really that close, but immediately treat that stump with stump and brush killer. Triclopyr is the active ingredient. Goes down, kills the root, doesn't come back.
Annette asking, what causes small Roma tomatoes?
Could be a lack of fertilizer, could be a lack of water, could be the extremely high heat that we got shortly after the plants went in the ground this year. They really didn't get established as well as they should have before the weather got really warm. Watch your watering, maybe a little bit of fertilizer. Don't get carried away. You can't overdo it with fertilizer, but keep that watering nice and constant. We still got a good month to 5 weeks of tomato production, so don't give up on them just yet.
Colleen writes in, the leaves on my hydrangeas have some brown spots on them. What's causing that?
Okay, this is a little bit of fungus. We've had quite a few leaves brought in this time of the year. Remember, we're past the peak of the season now. Plants are on the verge of starting to going dormant. If it really gets bad, you can go in there with a broad spectrum fungicide and spray, but believe me, this is not deadly. It is not going to kill the plant. It's just a little disfiguring.
All right. Well, we've got questions from Deb and Cindy. We'll get to those right after this.